Hello, beautiful. Monique Head here, relationship coach to passionate, marriage-minded women. And today I want to teach you how you can invite more men, more love into your life by using your feminine manner, by the use of your feminine manner. And specifically, this is all about feminine allure, right? But specifically, I want to talk about and distinguish the difference between feminine appearance and feminine manner. Because with the appearance, I already know you got it going on, right? Your hair, your nails, your clothes are all beautifully, like you're adorned beautifully. Your makeup is tight, like your skin is glowing, your hair is shiny. And oftentimes when you go out, you'll say, well, I went out and no one really approached me. So what's up with that, right? It's because the feminine manner wasn't there. The feminine allure wasn't there. The invitation wasn't there. And here's where I want to start, right? Because first of all, what I want you to know is that there's one woman who says men chase and women choose. But what I always say is that men choose first, and then you as a woman get to choose back. Know this, that men take their cues from what you say and what you do. And being able to attract men is the first step, right? Having the confidence, having the allure, really feeling good in who you are as a woman, no matter what happens, is going to allow men to really flock to you. And there's a further step, right? Because you have what it takes. You can have what it takes to draw men in to actually receive them. But when it comes to your ability to inspire that commitment, that's going to come through invitation, okay? Because attraction is great. And here's a problem with attraction sometimes. If you're not careful, right? If you're not practicing the virtues of feminine allure, if you haven't really set up the foundation and really define and live in your own standard, what can happen is that you can become the default chick. Right? You can enter into a default relationship, which is something that I've spoken about in a video that I did a few years ago, and you can actually click this the link in the description box to get access to that video. But really, a default relationship is one where there has been no verbal affirmation. It's an untitled relationship, and something that's really vital for you as the alluring woman is to honor your desire to be claimed, honor your desire to be in a relationship, because guess what? Relationships, right, influence the evolution of the universe. So yeah, as the alluring woman, it's really important that you get that part down. You get that part down first. So attraction is good, and there's a further step. And that further step is this. This is where the use of your feminine manner comes in. And it's done through the skill of invitation. Yeah, this is done through the skill of invitation. And so here's the thing, right? I want you to imagine that I'm throwing a party. And the party has come and gone, and I see you in the street, and I say, well, hey, girl, why you didn't come to my party? You know, you knew that I was having a party, and you didn't come. Like, I was hoping that you would be there. You didn't come. And what do you say? Well, I didn't get an invite. I wasn't invited. And then I say, oh, well, you could have come anyway. Like, you knew that I was, like, you knew, but you could have come anyway. I was talking to you about it, and you should have come. And oftentimes, I think that that's a really good example of the exchange between men and women nowadays, because the landscape is shifting. It's very different. And both men and women are really walking on eggshells. And here's what you can do when you create invitation. Number one, when you create invitation, you give that man permission to approach, right? So when you create the invitation, you give him permission to approach. And the second thing that you do is that you give him an opportunity to respond to you and say yes, versus the default relationship, which keeps going on and on and on, and it becomes a sense of obligation. It's just kind of like, well, you here and I'm here, we just gonna be here together, and then, you know, nothing happens. Maybe you set him up for the next woman, and that's the woman that he really commits to. So here's what you can do about that. The feminine appearance, as I mentioned about that, it's the physical. It's the clothes that you wear. It's, like I said, your hair, how you're kind of walking, all of those things. But it's the feminine manner. It's the use of your feminine allure. It's the skill of invitation that really sets you apart, makes you that refreshing woman so that men can associate you with goodness, and they feel good about themselves when they're in your presence. Okay, so here's what you can do. I want to give you 3 things, but here's the umbrella tip. Back in the day, maybe you heard this before, people would say, drop your handkerchief. That's what invitation is about. Invitation is about creating the opportunity to invite your feminine nature to be noticed. It's about creating the opportunity for a man to respond to you, right? To create that opportunity to which he can respond. He might say no, but there's a high probability that he can say yes. It's really 50-50, but when it's done through invitation, Men like to jump into that because it brings purpose into their life, right? They like to give. And when men are giving, when people give, what you'll find is that it creates this sense of attachment because oxytocin is released. So I digress because I get so passionate about this. So what you can do to really activate your feminine manner. Number one, you would want to think about how you can be more receptive, right? Femininity, the trait of femininity is all about receptivity. We as a woman, we're the portal, right? We're the plug. So how can you invite, how can you activate your receiving muscles, right? How can you use them in a way that you know that men know, that others around you know that you are going to be receptive to the approach, that you're going to say yes to the gifts, to the gestures. Just this morning, I was at the grocery store and the man was pushing the carts in and he said, "Hey, miss, would you like me to help you with that?" And in my mind, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to bother him. No, I got it." And then I stopped. I was like, "Ooh." I said, "Yes, you can help me. I'm sorry, you can't help me." And so he just, I was a little scared, and that's something that can stop us women. I was like, "Who is this guy?" Right? I was a little afraid in the back of my mind, but I said, "You know what? Sure, you can help me." And sure, what came through my mind was like, "Man, do I need to tip him because I don't have any cash on me right now?" But we closed the trunk, and he was like, "Have a nice day." And I said, "Well, thank you very much." Right? So we have to get that. You have to get that men want to do for you, right? And it's our privilege as women to create those opportunities for them to please us because that's what they really want to do. Okay, so that's number one, exercising your receiving muscles and really being in the fluidity and flow of receptivity. Number two, the use of your feminine manner is about beauty. How can you add more beauty to your life, right? And this isn't something that costs a lot of money or takes a lot of time, but these are the simple things that can enhance and really support the woman that you are, the woman that you really desire to be, the woman that you desire to blossom into. So think about ways that you can add more beauty into your life because what that's going to do for you is that it's going to allow you to soften into your feminine allure. So this may look like some fresh flowers. It may look like a beautiful candle that's scented, and it smells so good so that when someone steps into your home or when you step into your home or as a way to unwind, you just begin to feel relaxed and more feminine. And the last thing, and this is really important because this is what I find that my clients oftentimes struggle with, is vulnerability, right? Use of your feminine manner is about allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, you create connection, okay? And connection equals commitment. Okay, rather than being guarded, rather than being tight and bitter, vulnerability is all about melting the ice around your heart. It's about softening your heart so that you can be seen for the beautiful, alluring woman that you are. And guess what? I get that it's scary. And that's why we all need help, right? This is not something that you can do alone because I know that no woman is exceptional all by herself. Okay, so 3 things I really just want to recap. So you can invite more men into your life by the use of your feminine manner, right? And feminine manner, increasing your feminine manner is all about creating the opportunities that allow your feminine nature to be noticed. I've shared 3 examples. Number 1, receptivity. Number 2, how can you add more beauty that's going to allow you to show up more confidently and attract them in? And then when you have them in, to attract them in your orbit, in your space, you can invite them in, right? It's your choice. Men choose you, right? And then you get to choose back. And then number 3, it's about vulnerability, okay? How can you let your guard down? How can you allow yourself to really be seen in a way that you don't have to feel tight and just kind of like wonder when the ball is going to drop, but instead you get to feel like you really get to be this woman who's fully expressed in all areas of her life. And I know that's something that you really want, okay? So if this message really appealed to you, and you want to learn more, because there's so much more to femininity, to feminine allure than just these 3 traits, but you want to learn more about this, right? And you want to learn how you can do it. I want you to click the link below in the description box, and I want to grant you access, complimentary access, to my 3-part video training series. It's called Be the Woman Who Gets Everything That She Wants. Okay, it's a 3-part video training series. And you can click the link below to get access to it. Okay, I hope that you found this information very, very useful. And I want you to do me a favor. If you did find it useful, go ahead and share this video because when you share, you add value. My name is Monique Head. Take care.